a very warm welcome. You're watching the Newshour Special Edition with me, Priya Bahal. Today, we will speak about a place of worship in Sambhal in Uttar Pradesh. By now, you're very familiar with the name of that place. It has been making headlines for days now. Something that was forcefully taken away from the faithful, locked, shut, encroached, forgotten. Not just that, hundreds who offered prayers there were reportedly forcefully displaced after communal riots. Riots that killed 17 people. But did you hear about it? Did you see top leaders of political parties making a beeline to this place in Sambhal, crying foul over religious rights being snatched, or any semblance of response like the one to when Shahi Jama Masjid was the one in question? So far, there is nothing. Why? We'll try and explore those questions, but first, let me tell you a little bit more about Bhasm Shankar Temple. Just 200 meters, by the way, away from the Sambhal Mosque, the survey at which place had generated a lot of controversy and political heartburn. Weeks after 4 people died in the violence over a court-ordered survey of the Jama Masjid, the administration launched a campaign to tackle encroachments and power theft in areas around the Mughal-era mosque. It was ironically during this anti-encroachment drive that the authorities stumbled upon a temple that was locked since 1978. This is the temple that we are talking about. The temple that houses Lord Hanuman's ancient idol, a Shivling, a Nandi idol and a Ganesh Murti. This morning, after 4 decades, temple bells finally rang in the premises of this temple and a morning aarti was also performed.
देखिए बिल्कुल मैं आपको सिलसिलेवार ढंग से पूरी कहानी बताता हूं। दरअसल कल सुबह जब प्रशासन ने यहां पर बिजली चोरी को लेकर एक ड्राइव शुरू किया था, उस वक्त ये पीछे के रास्ते से, जो मंदिर के पीछे का रास्ता है, जो जियाउर रहमान के घर की तरफ का रास्ता है, 200 मीटर की दूरी पे मात्र यहां से जियाउर रहमान का घर है। वहां पर बिजली की जो तारें हैं, जो लोगों ने चोरी कर ली थी, बिजली चोरी कर ली थी, उसको लेकर ड्राइव चल रहा था। इसी रास्ते से प्रशासन की टीम के साथ हम लोग सामने आए। इस रास्ते से हम लोग जब सामने आए तो इस मंदिर के सामने जो जगह आप देख रहे हैं, यहाँ पे मंदिर को ढकने के लिए दीवार लगा दी गई थी। जो आप देख रहे हैं जिसे अब तोड़ दिया गया है, देखिए यहाँ प्रशासन ने तोड़वा दिया है। इसको इंक्रोच करने के लिए यहाँ पर देखिए दीवार लगा दी गई थी और ये कोशिश की गई थी कि मंदिर के अस्तित्व को छिपा दिया जाए। लेकिन जो गुंबद ऊपर का दिख रहा था मंदिर का, उससे साबित हो रहा था कि यहाँ पे कोई पौराणिक स्थल है, यहाँ पर कोई सनातन स्थल है। और उसको बाद जो प्रशासन है उसने यहाँ पर इसकी जानकारी लेने की कोशिश की। जब जानकारी ली तो पता चला कि 1978 के बलवे के बाद से ये मंदिर इसी तरीके से बंद था और यहाँ पर जो कि हिंदू बस्ती हुआ करती थी, सनातन धर्म के लोग रहते थे, वो यहाँ से उस बलवे के बाद पलायन कर गए थे। अब देखिए किस तरीके से इस मंदिर की अस्मिता को छिपाने की कोशिश की गई। ये आप पीछे अगर देखेंगे तो ये पीछे कुआं है जिसे बाद में प्रशासन ने कल खुदवाया है। इसी कुएं के ऊपर लोगों ने रैंप बना दिया था। ये जो देख रहे हैं आप, यहाँ बकायदा रैंप बना दिया गया था गाड़ियों के चढ़ने के लिए और कोशिश की गई थी कि इस कुएं के अस्तित्व को मिटा दिया जाए। लेकिन जब स्थानीय लोगों से हमने बात की, जब स्थानीय लोगों ने प्रशासन से अनुरोध किया कि एक बार आप यहाँ पे खुदाई करवाइए, यहाँ आपको कुआं मिलेगा, तो प्रशासन ने यहाँ पे कार्रवाई कराई, खुदाई करवाई और फिर यहाँ पे कुआं मिला। आप देखिए कितना गहरा कुआं है, लेकिन इसको फिर भी ढक दिया गया है, इसको फिर भी देखिए मिट्टी से भर दिया गया है। लेकिन प्रशासन कह रहा है कि अभी इसको वापस से उस तरीके से इसके वापस अस्तित्व में लेके आएंगे। सामने आप देखेंगे तो देखिए अब जो यहाँ पर जो मंदिर की स्थिति है वो आप देखकर समझ पाएंगे कि कितना पुराना ये मंदिर है। बिल्कुल उसी तरीके से जैसे पुराने जमाने में देखिए आप, जो मंदिर के अंदर जो ऊपर जो कमल के निशान होते थे, जो पत्ते होते थे वो लगाए जाते थे। जो छोटी यहाँ पर देखिए ईंटों का इस्तेमाल किया जाता था पुराने जमाने में, उसका इस्तेमाल यहाँ पर इस मंदिर में किया गया है। लोग ये कह रहे हैं कि जैसा हरिहरी मंदिर के अंदर जो स्ट्रक्चर दिखता है, बिल्कुल सेम इसी तरीके से यहाँ भगवान शिव के मंदिर में भी आपको स्ट्रक्चर देखने को मिलेगा। एक बार हम कोशिश करेंगे कि आपको अंदर लेके चले और मंदिर के अंदर का जो दृश्य है वो आपको दिखाए कि आखिर मंदिर अंदर से कैसा था और किस हालात में था। अंदर अगर आप आएंगे तो देखिए आपको यहाँ पे जो खुद यहाँ पर जो लोग हैं, ये देखिए यहाँ पर हनुमान चालीसा का पाठ करते हुए नजर आएंगे। पूजा चालू है, यहाँ पर लोग आ रहे हैं, पूजा कर रहे हैं। नीचे अगर आप देखेंगे तो भगवान शिवलिंग जो शिव है वो खुद विराजमान है, शिवलिंग आपको नजर आएंगे। और बिल्कुल इसी तरीके से जो नंदी बाबा हैं वो सामने के मुख में आपको जो भगवान शिव की तरफ जो मुंह है वो करके नजर आएंगे। पीछे देखिए वहां पर आपको भगवान गणेश नजर आएंगे और उनके बगल में देखिए यहाँ पर भगवान जी नजर आएंगे। और सामने अगर आप देखेंगे तो यहाँ पर महाबली हनुमान जो है वो आपको नजर आएंगे। और देखिए अब इनको चोला भी पहना दिया गया है।
Now, this discovery has led to a conversation about Sambhal's deadly and violent past. What was it that led to the closure of this ancient temple? Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath has even called the 1978 Sambhal episode a massacre. He asked what was the fault of those innocent people who were killed in the most brutal manner in the riots that led to mass exodus of Hindus reportedly and eventually shutdown of this temple as well. And why, he asks, have the culprits gone unpunished? The answers to these questions remain elusive because when the opposition does speak about this issue, they accuse the BJP of creating deflections.
इस प्रकार की राजनीति जो है अब जनता जो चाहती है उससे उठ करके क्षेत्र के विकास की बात करना चाहती है और जो मेन मुद्दे हैं रोजगार का हो, महंगाई का हो या करप्शन का हो, उन चीज़ से मुद्दों से भटकाने के लिए इस प्रकार की बातें कर रहे हैं। और रही बात जहां तक उसकी बात है, अगर वो उस चीज़ पे बताए ना, जनता को जवाब दें जिस उस पर सरकार बनाई है, उस चीज़ पे नहीं बता पाएंगे। लेकिन फिर भी मैं यही चाहता हूँ कि आने वाले समय के अंदर अब जिस टाइप के हालात हैं, इन बातों से हट करके जनता विकास चाहती है और हमें उम्मीद है कि समाजवादी पार्टी की सरकार बनेगी।
हनुमान जी का मंदिर, शिव जी का मंदिर बंद करके रखा गया था। एक भय का माहौल पैदा करके वहाँ से हिंदुओं को पलायन करने के लिए मजबूर किया गया था। वह खुलने के बाद जहाँ लोगों में खुशी है और विश्वास है, वहीं दूसरी ओर ऐसा लगता है कि इस प्रकार से कहीं पर भी कोई घेर करके, बंद करके, भय दिखा करके उत्तर प्रदेश में मंदिर हो या कोई अन्य धार्मिक स्थल हो, सार्वजनिक स्थल हो, किसी को कब्जा करके, छिपा करके और लोगों को वहाँ जाने से रोक करके कुछ किया है, तो उसको पता करके, ये कोई विवाद का विषय नहीं है, लेकिन जहाँ भगवान है उनका भोग लगता है, जो सार्वजनिक स्थल है उसका सार्वजनिक रूप से उपयोग होता है। अब भय के बल पर, धमकी के बल पर डरा करके जो कब्जे किए गए थे या जो वहाँ से रहने वाले हिंदुओं को या धर्मावलंबियों को पलायन करने के लिए मजबूर किया गया था, अब वो समय समाप्त हो गया।
78 के बाद मंदिर खुला है तो 10 साल से ये सरकार में थे, इस 10 साल से सरकार के अंदर ये 10 साल से क्यों नहीं खुला? या ये मुद्दों को छुपा के रखते हैं, दबा के रखते हैं? हम तो उसके खुलने का स्वागत करते हैं। मैं किसी भी इबादत गाह के बंद करने के हक में नहीं हूँ। मैं तो चाहता हूँ कि सब इबादत गाहें बहाल आबाद रहनी चाहिए।
Joining me now on this broadcast is Tuhin Sinha, BJP National Spokesperson, Sangit Ragi, political analyst, Dr. Nikul Patel, who's a leader from the Congress Party, is with us. Atikur Rahman, political analyst, is joining us, and also Tariq Khan, Samajwadi Party National Spokesperson. Tariq Khan ji, pehla sawal aap hi se. Tomorrow there is going to be a session of the Rajya Sabha. There are several very vocal Samajwadi Party MPs in the upper house. Will you be raising the issue of Sambhal?
We have already raised the issue of Sambhal.
The Sambhal temple.
This is what? This is what means what it has a correlation with Samajwadi Party. Means if something is being shut down and it's been asked to the BJP why they are sleeping since last 10 years. So there is no issue to raise this issue. It's not an issue. Now what is issue in there? People have been killed in Sambhal. That is an issue. And Akhilesh already and Sambhal MP has already raised that issue. This is not an issue. Why it will be an issue for us? If you are recovering a religious place of Hindus, it's all right. We have no correlation with that. Right? What is the issue? Why you are creating an allegation on us that we will create this issue?
No, I'm not alleging anything. I'm just curious. It's not an issue. It's not an issue. It's a matter of search. It's not a search that why it has been closed, who has closed it, what was the reason behind that, and we need to search that. And wherever any type of religious place has been closed, that a search should be incited or started by the Yogi government, should have started all over Uttar Pradesh. They should have started a search for the religious places being closed of any religious places. Let it be a Gurudwara, let it be a masjid, let it be a mandir. And if they have recovered this thing, police have to search it and BJP have to respond that they were in power since 90s in state. Why this thing is happening? What you are doing? Why you have not recovered these? So you have questions, right? Your party said, no, संभल हमारे लिए बड़ा मुद्दा है, अदानी हमारे लिए मुद्दा नहीं है, संभल हमारे लिए बड़ा मुद्दा है, तो ये भी तो संभल में ही है. The questions that you are asking right now, would you be raising those questions on bigger platforms? Will you be talking about...
Akhilesh ji said lives is more important than Adani. Means if
Yes.
people are dying in Sambhal...
Yes. The riots that led to the shutting down of this temple killed 17 people. Those 17 lives were also lives lost. So today, when Yogi Adityanath says that why did the culprits go unpunished, would you like to put that question to somebody at the national level?
Exactly. Why riots happen? And why riots happen in Sambhal few days back where 5 people have died? So this question should also have been asked, that 5 people, the bullet had...
Your party has asked that question? Which is why I am asking that when you talk about Sambhal ka such, is it only one particular such that you want to find answers to and not the other one?
That 17 people exactly, a same Indian, exactly these 5 people have been. Why you are not asking BJP that who killed these 5 people?
No, you are the opposition. You are the opposition. It's your question.
You know your responsibility or not?
Sir, I am not a parliamentarian. I very much, sir.
You are.
Sir, we can have a
media personal.
Sir, we can.
Media personal. You should
Sir,
ask him now. You should
sir,
ask 2 questions.
Sir, sir, I am a media person. I am the MP that the full form of which is media person. You are the Samajwadi Party has MPs whose full form is member of parliament. They go to the parliament. They get to ask questions. I am asking questions on a platform where I can, and I don't think there is any reason for you to lose your temper. But Mr. Sangit Ragi, let me bring you in over the matter. For the uninitiated, let's first understand what exactly happened in Sambhal in 1978, because like Yogi Adityanath said, it hasn't been spoken about, no rallies, candle marches have been taken out. But when he says that the culprits went unpunished, help us understand who exactly was the culprit and why did they go unpunished?
First of all, I'm not the national spokesperson of the BJP. I'm just a political analyst. I'm a professor of political science.
Yes, sir, which is why I wanted an apolitical voice.
I'm here to speak with you.
Yes.
What happened in 1971, there was a one-sided program of Hindus which led to fleeing Hindus, leaving the Hindus at place. And I'm really aghast to know all this, that this has happened in independent India when Ram Naresh Yadav was the chief minister of the state, and Ram Naresh Yadav was the Congress chief minister, not the BJP chief minister, not anybody else chief minister. Second point, this has accentuated the demand of the Hindus that 40,000 Hindus temples which were converted by the Islamist radicals and the Islamic invaders, they must be reclaimed by the Hindu societies. Third thing, that the Sambhal Har Har Mandir, now it has given credence to the fact that the Harihar Mandir was converted into a mosque by the Islamic zealots, and therefore this temple should also be reclaimed by the Hindu society, and the fight should go the way the Hindus are fighting, fought for Ayodhya, they are fighting for Mathura and Kasi, and in times to come, now the Hindus must reclaim all those places, not only the 40,000, because the barbaric Islamist in the name of Islam has massacred not only the Hindus. That history has been kept aside by the government of Nehru, then the Congress government, and all Samajwadi. They have patronized in last 70 years the Islamic zealots in this country, and very sorry to say that the Supreme Court, instead of bringing it to the notice of the public that how the Islamic raiders and the zealots have done damage to the Indian civilization, their culture, their temples they have destroyed, have tried to protect them. This is very unfortunate. Why, if the matter was going on, why there should be, blanket ban on such kind of things that should not come to the public. I am of this opinion that the temples, whatever, even a small temple or big temple that has been raped by the barbaric Islamic, I am saying barbaric Islamic who have done the same kind of things all where in the world. They have done in India, and very unfortunate in Pakistan, we have only now left with 25, 32 temples. This has happened in India, independent India, and the secularists are again talking the language of, what the Muslim zealots talk about in India, that Santi, Santi, Santi. Why? Santi at what cost? Santi at cost of humiliating the Hindus, destroying their temples, and you are not accepting that your barbaric nature is now stand exposed.
Nikul Patel, Mr. Ragi says that it happened, all this happened when the Congress was in power in the state. Are there any questions that you would want asked and answered?
Yeah, definitely. I think my friend has to review the history. He said that it was the Chief Minister of Congress. I would like to say Ram Naresh Yadav was fighting from the Nindaholi Kalan constituency, and Janata Party was in power in those days from 1977 to 1979. So I don't understand why he quote Congress in his speech. Secondly, today administration had cleared the encroachment. They have caught some power theft. So that is the regularization of the things, and we appreciate the steps of the government. And it must be done at everywhere in the country, because ultimately it's the responsibility of the administration to regularize the thing. During the drive, it was found some temple was closed since 1978, and they identified it and reopened it. We appreciate the step again. Now, why it was closed, who were the culprits, why the people were killed. So all these things are now the matter of investigation. Again, if everyone is feeling that is a matter of national importance, then definitely it has to be reopened. The government must take an initiative everywhere, and the culprit who had done all these things must be punished as per the law. That is what we want to say. But I would like to just make my friend realize that at that particular time, it was Janata Party, which is now Bharatiya Janata Dal or Janata Party was in power, which is now Bharatiya Janata Party.
Mr. Ragi.
Ram Naresh Yadav belonged to the Congress Party. Mr. Ram Naresh Yadav belonged to the Congress Party, who had then converted to Janata Party and became part of the Janata Party. And subsequently that time, I stand corrected. Thank you so much.
Even the local Sambhal MP at that point in time who had also approached the higher authorities were also from the BLD party. Sambhal, but coming to you, Tuhin Sinha, now the opposition is saying it's all well to raise ghosts of the past, but what was Yogi government doing? Why did it take an encroachment drive for a temple's doors to be thrown open? If they want an inquiry, they should order an inquiry. If they want culprits to be punished, they should probably initiate action.
Good evening, Priya. Good evening, everybody. First of all, let me congratulate devotees across the country on the historic reopening of the Bhashma Shankar temple, which had been closed for the last 46 years. Now, you know, the communal flare-up which took place in Sambhal about 3 weeks ago, and as unfortunate as it may be, it has actually exposed a can of worms. It has actually exposed a whole lot of skeletons which had remained buried in Sambhal for the last 5 decades. 29th March 1978 is the dark day when 17, and I'm assuming that would have been around Ram Navami, when 17 Hindus were immolated, and subsequently that led to riots for many weeks and many months. But unfortunately, after that, the administration of the area had a lopsided view towards Hindus, and Hindus were continuously subjugated. You know, so even if it is serendipity, even if the discovery of the temple is serendipitous, it is accidental, it was happened through, you know, raids because of the theft. I think it is a historic moment, and the fact that Yogi government showed a lot of alacrity in opening it right away shows that historical wrongs need to be corrected, and we are committed to correcting those historical wrongs. I am challenging Congress Party and Samajwadi Party to do a press conference tomorrow and say that they condemn the reopening of it. They won't be able to do it. We stand for, but this also validates what we have been saying, that 40,000 temples over the last 1,000 years have been destroyed in a similar fashion. We are not claiming all of them, but yes, you know, the time has come for acceptance of truth and for closure. Such झूठ जो है, such परेशान हो सकता है, पराजित नहीं हो सकता. The reopening of the temple has proved that.
But Atikur Rahman, Akhilesh Yadav also says, खोदोगे तो खोदोगे. If you keep digging, then eventually you will end up losing the communal harmony and amity that he is referring to. Do you agree with that? Or is it just about, if it is one particular community that is concerned, then all the sympathy comes pouring out. When the other is concerned, it's par for course, things happen.
Priya, who am I to agree with Mr. Akhilesh or any other political party? It was the Supreme Court which said that history is not, to correct the historical wrongs, law is not the answer. Anyhow, but I really sympathize with Mr. Sangit Ragi and Mr. Tuhin Sunna also, that they want to bring back the same Muslim bigotry, majoritarian hegemony of the Muslim rulers, which was there in the 1500s and the 1600s, back to India with the presence of the Samvidhan, the constitution, which yesterday our dear Prime Minister was evoking in the parliament.
But how,
There
sir?
was no constitution, Priya, in
How?
the 1500s and the 1600s.
If we talk about just this Bhasma Shankar temple, how does whatever you are saying apply? It was an anti-encroachment drive.
No, I have no counts. I have no counts, Mr. Don't heckle me, Mr. Ragi. I know you are an RSS ideologue, but right now you are a political analyst.
No, let's take it one by one, Mr. Ragi. You will get your right to respond. You will get your opportunity. Yes,
there is no difference in the mindset of the Muslims when the Mughals were there or Sultans were there. Even today the Muslims are doing the same thing all over the world.
No, but sir,
I have a simple question, Priya.
Sir, there is an administration in place.
Priya, I have a simple question.
There is law. There are courts of the land. People can approach to courts. That is what is being done. Let's not make sweeping statements. Yes, Mr. Rahman, finish your point, and then Mr. Ragi, you can respond. Yes, Mr. Rahman.
Thank you. Priya, I have a simple question. If you look at the Muslim rule and the Mughal rule in the entire length and breadth of India, always the Muslims have concentrated, the rulers have concentrated and made Delhi as their capital. But right now, the Hindi belt or the cow belt, the northern India is having a minority Muslim population, but Kerala and Jammu and Kashmir had always been a majoritarian Muslim population where never there had been any Muslim rule. So this is a very major question, that despite the presence of the Mughals and the Muslim rules and their capital at Delhi, the northern part of India is still majoritarian Hindu.
What is the question? I'm sorry, I'm failing to understand.
This religious bigotry points out to one question. Yes.
What is the question, sir?
The presence of RSS since the past 99 years. Yes, my question is, in the presence of the RSS, which vows to protect the Hindus in India, and they are completely
Mr. Rahman, I think we're completely deflecting from what we were talking about. We're talking about what happened in Sambhal in 1978 and what happened in Sambhal in 2024. I'm not talking about southern India. I'm not talking about RSS or what they do or they do not do. I'm talking about this incident that was quoted in the Rajya Sabha. And let me describe it for our viewers, because I again repeat, not many of us know what really happened. This is what Minister of Home Affairs, the then Minister of Home Affairs, SD Patil, said in Rajya Sabha. Incident at Sambhal, 29th March 1978. Uttar Pradesh witnessed serious communal disturbances in Sambhal on 29th March. Disturbances apparently arose out of some members of the Muslim community objecting to holy titles, holy as in the festival holy titles, conferred by the Students' Union of the local college on two Muslim girls. This led to violent clashes and widespread looting and arson. Police fired at 3 places to control the situation. Curfew was imposed. In these riots, 17 people lost their lives. 33 people were injured, and it is after these riots that the temple was closed. What kind of justice do you think, Mr. Tariq Khan, this is, that when a communal riot happens, then a place of worship is shut down and the devotees have to wait for almost 50 years for worshipping their own deity?
If I'm not wrong, the owner of that house has said that years back he sold that place and no pujari or pandit were willing to go there for the prayer and all those things. So this is the issue. What he is saying, we should accept that thing. And if it's being closed forcefully, we have to search it. In 1971, who was in power? We were not in power. In this time when 5 people are killed in Sambhal, and at that time when 17 was killed, ask to the people who are in power today. Chief Minister is responsible if people died. A car sevak died in 1989 when Mulayam Singh Yadav ji was the Chief Minister. He was responsible. If people are dying in Uttar Pradesh, Yogi Adityanath is Chief Minister. He is not responsible. The responsible person is the Chief Minister of Bihar. Yogi is not responsible for anything if people are dying. In 1978, if 17 people are died, who was the Chief Minister? He must be responsible. In any regime, if people are dying in the state, it's the responsibility of the Chief Minister. Those 5 people who died in Sambhal, they have Aadhaar card not of Nepal, Aadhaar card of India. Those were the Indian citizens. Don't call them anything like that, Pattharbaz and all those.
Nobody is.
Don't say anything. They were the Indian citizen, asset of India. Asset of India.
Nobody said anything for anyone except what was visible on camera, sir.
It's all right. It's all right. What I'm trying to say.
And there was no Aadhaar, but there were 17 lives lost in 1978. Perhaps somebody should look for justice for them as well. But Tuhin Sinha, onus is on the BJP. What next?
You know, I'm glad the Samajwadi Party spokesperson has said that the Samajwadi Party Chief Minister should be held responsible for the death of car sevaks, for the murder of car sevaks in 1990. And I think this is the point where Samajwadi Party should also apologize for that gory incident where many car sevaks were brutally killed by the Samajwadi Party government in 1990. That will lead to closure. Unfortunately, they don't know the meaning of acceptance of truth. Unfortunately, they keep comparing it with what happened in Sambhal 3 weeks back. What happened in Sambhal? There was a investigation, there was a survey based on a legal order. But there was pre-planned attack on policemen, and the attackers apparently had Pakistan-made weapons, and you are still condoning the incident. You are still, defending that. I think there is a whole world of a difference between what happened in 1990. Since the Samajwadi Party spokesperson himself has said that the then Chief Minister should be held responsible, this is the moment when he should apologize for the murder of car sevaks in 1990.
All right, whether we talk about the past or the future, it is about fight for religious rights. What is the right way of fighting for it? Who is going to get justice? Also, who is going to ensure that this fight for justice continues in the rightful manner? Several questions arising out of this situation. But for now, we know that there are 2 different incidents that have taken place in Sambhal, and the reactions to those 2 incidents have been completely different. Nobody needs to say anything explicitly. What is the intention is visible to one and all. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining me on this debate. We take a very quick break.